Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, as we welcome you in here to the historic All-Star Arena. I, of course, will be your companion for tonight, the official voice of the Narwhals, James Ward. As you can see, we are underway over 4 minutes into the game. Not sure what happened with the delayed equipment delivery from FYT Productions, as we see a stick save from Mendelson, who is jerseyed up for the first time tonight. We've got Taramina, the BBC, Vane, and the Blue Ranger on the ice. Puck thrown at the BBC and blocked. Getting an eye here from Coach Mikey.
Really?
Coach Gary, excuse me. Oh, and poked away from the BBC. Taramina to jump back, a nice little spin. He's got the red shirt poking out of the bottom of his blue Narwhal jersey. Here is the Blue Ranger. BBC will call for one off, and we've got Bill back on the ice. Here's the Blue Ranger losing it. Up comes the up-tighty Whiteys. Here are the Whiteys, a saucer pass, and Fandon not able to corral that pass, and up comes Taramina with a blind pass to the Blue Ranger, but connected nonetheless. Blue Ranger will have it taken away on an ill-advised pass, and up come the tighty Whiteys. Getting past Vane, trying to get it in the zone. Looping around the net. Around the net once more. The tighty Whiteys now looking to reset. Coming back to the point, and right in front of Ward. Taramina to give the forecheck. The tighty Whiteys circling back. Up they come now. Crossing the red line. Getting around Bill. Oh, and nearly sliding into the net. Tidy Whiteys will have it taken away. And up comes the Blue Ranger looking to add intensity into the melting pot. Not able to get around. Perhaps trying to do too much on his own is the Blue Ranger. Does not have the other Rangers tonight, as is the case for the past two games. Narwhals' goal total starting to suffer because of that. Good bit of passing here from Bill to Vane. Vane with the slapper not leaving the ice. Again, Vane coming back from a two-game absence. He will slap that away. And we'll get Eric Fisher onto the ice for the first time in Ward's tenure tonight. Oh, and in on the rebound. Tapping it in are the up-tighty Whiteys. And a one-goal disadvantage here for these Narwhals as they go for a change, as we tick down towards 15 minutes remaining in the first half.
Hope you enjoyed your vacation.
Eddie Fisher now on the ice. Take the face off and lose it. Tipping it up is the BBC. Here is Eric Fisher. Not getting through the tidy Whiteys. Tidy Whiteys will hold it now and get around both Fishers and then take a shot and pop the Gatorade bottle there. And so 2 goals within 25 seconds here for the tidy Whiteys. Oh, and Flip not getting in good favors here with the ref is Vane. As once more Eddie will take the draw. And win it that time, getting it over to his right to his brother. Here is Eric, who will have it chipped up, but will corral it in the corner. Circling around the tidy Whitey net now. Tidy Whiteys will get it away and chip it up. Going across, chipped up by Eddie. Eric to pick it up once more, trying to get it through the feet of a tidy Whitey. Not able to do so. And up come the tidy Whiteys. Throwing it across, hitting the skate of Eric. And back onto the stick of a tidy Whitey. Up come the Whiteys now. Facing pressure from the BBC. And back on the stick of Eric, looking for a saucer pass. And ill-advised at that. Here's a tidy Whitey in the corner. Puck will dribble near the center ice. Oh, we're going to have a breakaway here. And a good blocker save there from Mendelson. Under 13:30 now. A defensive zone draw here for these Narwhals. Eddie once more to take the draw. Getting it over to his brother. Looking to corral it. And up come the tidy Whiteys. Oh, and the BBC will go down in the boards. He'll go down hard and fast. Oh, and the BBC will remain down. And we're going to get a stoppage here. Oh, and we may have a man down here for these Narwhals. Not sure what happened. He went down good and hard. That is, of course, number 65, the BBC. Mark grabbing that right hamstring or perhaps the right shin. Helmet and gloves came off. Having a talk with the referee. Perhaps it's something with that right arm, but certainly on the right side. And up now, coming the BBC. That number 65, looking a little ginger. He will make his way off under his own power. Narwhals, for the time being, will be down a man. As we get some insight on Bill's undergarments. And out comes the BBC. And back on for him, Bill and the Blue Ranger. Off comes Eric. Just 3 men the Narwhal have on the ice. And we will get the Fisher Bros, the Blue Ranger, as well as Bill on defense. In the corner of the Narwhals now, facing pressure from Eddie. He will chip it up to the Blue Ranger, and up he comes now with Eric across. Can this become a dynamic duo? They got it. Oh, and right in. Using that distraction, the threat of the one-timer from Eric is the Blue Ranger, and the Narwhals will get on the board here, breaking the 0. And it is a 2-1 game with 12:30 remaining. Blue Ranger to take the draw. And win it back to Bill, who will look up for Eric right in front of Ward now. Bill's going to have it taken away, and the Blue Ranger is going to take it back. Up comes the Blue Ranger now, who will lose it for a moment, and then circle it back along the boards to Bill. Here's Bill now, up the boards to Eric. Eric looking for his brother, perhaps. He's got the Blue Ranger in front of the net. And Eric will lose it momentarily and then recollect. Oh, and the Blue Ranger not looking for the puck. Perhaps just not much continuity built between those two thus far. And the Tidy Whitey's up now. Off the skate of the Blue Ranger. Eric's going to have a chance here. He'll tip it over to the Blue Ranger. In front, looking to stuff it in. He will not. Down goes the Blue Ranger. And here's Eric once more. Oh, and he misses. Off the pad it appeared. And wide. And a ton of pressure coming from these Narwhals. And now the Tidy Whiteys will take it away once more. Oh, and into the crotch of Bill. That puck might be wet. Might have some crotch sweat from Bill on that puck now. We'll see what the Narwhals can make use of that. And here's the Blue Ranger now losing it. And here is the Tidy Whiteys. Oh, finding a man in front of the net. Not able to corral it in time. Up come the Tidy Whiteys once more. And the intensity is picking up on the ice tonight. Tidy Whiteys to chip it in. A wide pass. Here's Bill up the boards. Eric will fight for it in the corner with the Tidy Whitey. Bill calling for a man. In comes Vane. Tidy Whitey's now with the forecheck from the Blue Ranger. The Blue Ranger's going to take it away. He's got Eric across. Oh, and he did not utilize his man across. He'll have it taken away. Up come the Tidy Whiteys now. Circling through Narwhals. Here's the Blue Ranger to give pressure right in front of the crease of the goaltender. Tidy Whiteys now taking their time. And a long saucer pass. Oh, and in. Andelson not paying attention. And right in, untouched. End to end. That may be the longest goal we've seen on this all-star ice. Unbelievable. And the lead grows to 2 for these Tidy Whiteys. A 3-1 advantage as we tick down under 10 minutes here. Unbelievable. About as long as a goal as you will see. The draw won by the Blue Ranger. And it felt like something had to break there. There was a ton of intensity on the ice. You just felt like something was going to come. And here's the Blue Ranger. Oh, with Taramina in front. He did not have his stick on the ground. He is going to, oh. And that went in, perhaps on the drift back from the goaltender. Push that goal back enough to allow Taramina's shot in.
Give and take. Let's go.
And the Narwhals cut the lead to 1 with 9:30 remaining here. Here are the Tidy Whiteys, here right in front of Ward. Oh, and a good blocker save there from Endelson and on top of the net. Defensive zone faceoff here coming for the Narwhals. And the tighty whiteys to pick it up here right in front of Ward. Looking for his man across, finding him, and chipped up off the stick of Eddie Fisher. And we will get another defensive zone draw for the Narwhals. And we're getting some chatter here from a tighty whitey man on the Narwhal bench here. We'll see what they have to say about it. And a draw in the same spot. Won by the Blue Ranger. Here is Vane with it now. See what kind of ice rust he's had. Not seen much from him tonight. Bending it all the way down. Taramina skating past the puck. Goalie still out of the net. Here are the tighty whiteys now. Taramina giving the forecheck. And the Blue Ranger here giving pressure. Taramina does not seem to know where the puck is. Taramina not quick enough to get to that man as he is slicing through the Narwhal defense. A backhand and a stick save. Oh, and throwing it right through the creases. Taramina off the boards. Not sure what he's looking for there.
What was wrong with this one? We weren't in that game. That's what I'm saying. We're losing games, but we're in. Last week we weren't.
And we're getting some chatter here from the ref to the Narwhal bench as the Narwhals will once more take a defensive zone draw. And one here. No, yes, won by the tighty whiteys briefly. And now in the feet of Eric, and up comes the Blue Ranger. He's got Taramina across. Will he use him? No, he will miss wide right. Taramina to collect the puck on the boards. Still fighting for it there. Blue Ranger to give help. And that's going to get called there from Taramina. He put the stick in front of the skates. About as clean of a trip as you will see. Taramina shaking his head at that. And back in comes the BBC off of the injury. And once more, a defensive zone draw here for the Narwhals. So the BBC, Vane, and the Blue Ranger here to kill the penalty caused by Taramina. Tighty whiteys will win the draw. And a quick pad save for Endelson. As we tick down, close to 6 minutes here. I believe 4:30 is the time on the power play. Blue Ranger once more to take the draw. And we'll lose it. A win from the tighty whiteys. Oh, and overshooting that is the Blue Ranger. And then saved in the crotch of Endelson. And a fifth straight draw here. And the tighty whiteys will win it. Taking it briefly. And no penalty called here from the referee as it looked maybe we had a tripping call there on the Blue Ranger. Up come the tighty whiteys here right in front of Ward. Vane will take it away. No. The tighty whiteys recover once more. Going back to the point now. Going across. That saucer pass goes wide. Slapping it around now to another tighty whitey in the corner. Back up to the point now. Off of his skate. Carrying it too loose, but the tighty whiteys will pick it up once more. 5:15 now. 45 seconds remain on this power play. A shot saved by the pad of Endelson. And here's Vane looking to clear. He does. Off the behind of the referee. Ref doing no favors here for these Narwhals tonight. And here are the tighty whiteys once more. Crossing the blue line, toss a pass across to the opposite point. We'll wait for a moment and then get it down. In the red line, a clean shot and through the 5-hole. Not much pressure coming there from the Narwhals. And the advantage grows to 2 for these tighty whiteys. As we approach 4:30 here. Narwhals killed most of that power play, but not quite enough. A win on the draw for the tighty whiteys. And I'll tell you, this just does not feel like the same Narwhal team As when we had the full force of the Power Rangers, we've got the Blue Ranger right in front. That shot blocked off the stick of the BBC. And up come the Tidy Whiteys now. They've got a man behind the Narwhal defense, trying to stuff it in. Oh, and it will sit on the goal line. And finally covered by Anderson. A scary play there as the Tidy Whiteys got behind the Narwhal defense. Coach Gary checking in on the BBC. And once more, a defensive zone draw here for the Narwhals. Won by the Tidy Whiteys. And shot from the point, wide right. Still sitting in the back of the net. Tidy Whiteys here looking to collect. Here comes the Blue Ranger. And he's got Eric across, but a 2-on. Oh, and nearly chipped in by Eric. Just wide left of that net. Oh, and he'll throw it right back around across. You know, it feels like Fisher, that's Eric Fisher, and the Blue Ranger are starting to get close here, perhaps building that continuity for things to come. Not a good clear there from Vane, but it'll end up on the stick of the BBC. Into the corner now with some speed. Oh, and he goes down. He put that man in the net. And we will get a whistle. Waiting on an explanation here from the ref. What's up with that? Why do you blow the whistle? Why do you blow the whistle? Oh. And we had a displacement of the net and a rare offensive zone faceoff here for these Narwhals. Not sure who's going to take the draw for the Narwhals. And up comes Eddie Fisher. And on the stick of the Tidy Whiteys, who will chip it back. Eric Fisher, the first one there. So perhaps looking for his brother. He's got it clean now. Vane got off of his position at the point. Perhaps took some options away there for Eric Fisher. Vane now back at the point. Oh, and a whiff on the pass. And the BBC coming back now. Oh, and perhaps Anderson once more. Not paying attention, and a slick backhand to get over the left shoulder. As we tick down under 2 minutes here. A 3-goal advantage for these Tidy Whiteys. The draw won by Eddie on the stick of Eric Fisher now, who has been the puck handler for this Narwhal line. Oh, and diddling around, perhaps going for something fancy. Oh, he had it to his brother in front, but just too much traffic to make anything happen. Up come the Tidy Whiteys now. Oh, and Eric's going to take it away once more. And in the feet of the BBC now. Up he comes. He'll chip it over to Eddie. And chipped out now. Eric coming back to give help on the defense. And slapping at it is Vane. He's got the BBC across, does Fisher. Here's the Tidy Whitey now. Up come the Tidy Whiteys. A 2-on-2 opportunity in the zone, all alone. And in, once more, popping that Gatorade bottle of Endelson. And the goals are starting to fall here for the Tidy Whiteys. A 4-goal advantage, 6-2, as we are under a minute to go here in this, the first half. Anybody, you want me to go?
Go get in there, Dave.
And out comes Taramina. And right on his stick it comes. Perhaps that's a sign of things to come. And to Eddie Fisher now. What can he do with it? Trying to slide it along the boards and then fight for it. Here's the BBC looking to get it in front. I'll tell you, these men from the Tidy Whiteys have done a phenomenal job of tying up the inside, not allowing pucks to get through for these Narwhals. BBC giving the forecheck and then a quick pad save there from Endelson as we've just 10 seconds remaining here in this, the first half. And perhaps we will not even get a draw here. And ref's going to call the first half, and a disappointing first half for these Narwhals at that. A 4-goal disadvantage here. Not sure what, if anything, there is to say for Coach Gary here. It by no means does it feel like the Narwhals are out of this game. They are certainly playing with the Tidy Whiteys, but things are just not falling, it feels like. Once the Narwhals get down close there, the Tidy Whiteys just do a phenomenal job of tying things up in front, not allowing the Narwhals to get anything set up. And as we get ready for the second half puck drop here, that first half, of course, brought to you by Snickers. You're not a narwhal when you're hungry. And the tidy whiteys again, slicing right through the narwhal defense. And coming up to the point here, as it appears we will start with much of the same of what we saw in that first half. Here's the tidy whiteys to collect. No, Eddie getting it to the Blue Ranger right in front. He's got some space. Oh, and a good pad save there from the tidy whitey goaltender. Here come the whiteys. Point to point they go. Across, slicing through two members. The narwhal defense. And throwing it down for Fisher is the Blue Ranger. Oh, finding his Fisher brother. Oh, and nearly sliding in for the Narwhals. Off the stick of Eddie. And a couple decent chances here for these Narwhals. Here's the Blue Ranger. Not able to corral it. Up come the Whiteys. Missing the net wide. And then throwing it away is Vane. Here are the Whiteys now taking their time. Up tidy Whiteys. Left in front, behind the Narwhal net. Here's the Blue Ranger. Blue Ranger getting it to Eric, and then a slick pass right back to him. Oh, and not able to stuff it in on the close side. Here's the Blue Ranger. He's had a couple opportunities like that. Not been able to convert. Oh, the Whiteys will have it taken away. Oh, and once more, the Blue Ranger is denied in front. Not getting much help from his Narwhal teammates, but here's Fisher now. Getting around one man. Trying to stuff it in is Eric. Not able to do so. We have not seen much of Bill lately. You wonder if that's something to do with fatigue. Oh, and right in front are the tidy Whiteys. Eddie, a good long pass. Bill's dead too?
They're both trying to come back to life.
Okay. And we've
It's like
got...
a video game. They got to regenerate their stamina.
And dealing with some adversity are these Narwhals, as we are down two defensemen now. As Ward is just learning. And the tidy Whitey's beginning to have their way. Oh no, he'll lose it now. And up comes the Blue Ranger. Oh, hold that a little too loosely. The puck just stands there waiting for somebody to take it. Hopping around back and forth. Here are the Whiteys right in front of the Narwhal net. Throwing it through. Blue Ranger not able to corral it. And here are the tidy Whiteys being driven out by Eddie, but collected by another man. Not much help coming there. Oh, and deflected wide by Vane. Good defensive play there. Blue Ranger looking for a man. And up comes Bill for the first time in a while. Oh, and a fantastic play by the BBC to come through and deflect that puck wide on the path. Oh, right in front of Ward here. Maybe going for the nose once more. And here are the tidy Whiteys stuffing it in. And some dysfunction defensively showing from these Narwhals. And perhaps just some fatigue. It's much cleaner are these tidy Whiteys. You have to be careful. You have to be very clean if you are going to be a tidy Whitey. Those streaks will show quite evidently. Vane to take the draw for the first time tonight, and he's going to win it to the stick of the BBC. And he will throw it right on net, wide left. Here are the tidy Whiteys now, up the boards. Here is Bill, giving pressure. Tidy Whiteys with a man in front. Right in front of Ward now, off the stick of the BBC. Up come the Whiteys with pressure from Taramina. The Whiteys now right in front of Ward. The BBC giving some shoves. And letting him know is a man from Tidy Whiteys. Here's the BBC once more. And some dysfunction from this Narwhal defense. Coach Gary trying to give them some guidance. Tidy Whiteys now. Bill looking to deliver a big blow, and he does.
Good job, Bill.
What are you doing? You got any juice? You got any juice?
I do.
Sounds better than this. The BBC now in his own defensive zone. He's going to lose it. As here are the Whiteys once more. Throwing it on net. And off of the right pad and in. And some frustration showing for Vane and the Narwhals here. Another win on the draw here for Vane. Perhaps Coach Gary has found his face-off man. Right. Not any games, though. And it's going to be a one-on-one in the defensive zone for the Narwhals as they come through. Taken back away by Bill. What? Can't get it over? And the advantage is 6 for these Tidy Whiteys. 8-2. There are these Whiteys now. Looking to get around Vane, right in front of Ward. Sorcer pass across and slapped down by these Tidy Whiteys, missing wide. Back up at the point is the Blue Ranger. Oh, looking for the stick of Taramina, not getting it there.
Your fucking stick down. My God.
And another one gone in here for these Tidy Whiteys. And just one goal away here from a mercy are these Tidy Whiteys. Here you go. Thank you. Under 15 minutes to go here now. The advantage is 7 for the Tidy Whiteys. Oh, and just missing. High left is the BBC. Here's the Blue Ranger now. Trying to get it across, and again, doing a good job of clogging up the middle, not letting any pucks through, are the Tidy Whiteys. And just doing too much on his own is the Blue Ranger. And these Tidy Whiteys just playing like more of a team today than these Narwhals. And slicing through the defense. Up he comes. There has been no one man, no one superstar for these Tidy Whiteys, but a cohesive, tight, white unit they have been. And right in front, not much doing there, the Blue Ranger. Here's Vane from the point, clogging up the center. In front of the goaltender was the BBC, but nothing doing. Up comes the Tidy Whiteys once more into the chest of Anderson, who will make the routine save. And Taramina just calling to fight for our decency, for our pride, as we so much as Narwhals have learned to fight for. Oftentimes you do not fight for victories, but for pride and personal achievement. Oh, and off the shin of a Tidy Whitey. And here's the BBC. Oh, throwing it right in front. One of the few times tonight a Narwhal pass has gotten through the crease. And here's Eric Fisher once more, looking for the shot, and he's got it. Top right corner over the left shoulder of the Tidy Whitey goaltender. And the Narwhals trying to escape mercy here. Will cut the lead to 9-3. Back to a 6-goal deficit. And again, these Tidy Whiteys have not had one man dragging this team up. It has been a cohesive white unit tonight for them, just working together. But perhaps that man, 88, in the green, striped, white jersey, has been their best man. He has led the defense. Professional what? Professional what? Hockey player? Oh, and excuse me, the BBC goes off the mask. And the BBC eagerly calling for somebody, as it appears. It was just Eddie Fisher, Taramina, and Bill on the bench. Armida and Bill both appear to be hurt or fatigued. The Tidy Whiteys easily intercept that. In the feet now of Eddie Fisher. And taken back. Oh, and a nice shot in the same spot. And perhaps some frustration showing from that Tidy Whitey goaltender. But over his left shoulder, once more go the Narwhals. And I'll tell you what, the Narwhals have a whole quarter of this game to go. We need just 5 goals to tie it. I think we've got plenty of time here. If perhaps the Tidy Whiteys have taken their foot off of the gas. Can we have 4? Hey, can we have 4? We have 4, no? Tidy Whiteys once more. And again, the Narwhals have a full quarter of this game to go. Plenty of time. Just 5 goals needed. And up comes, using his speed. And not sure where that was. Oh, yes, caught right under the left pad of the goaltender. Again, these Narwhals down 5 goals. Correct score is 9-4. Just under 11 minutes to play here. Tidy Whitey's off the top post right in front of Ward now. And Tidy Whitey right in the corner. Oh, across and crispy pass. And a saucer pass back over to his green man. And off the foot of the Blue Ranger. Whoa! And right in front of Ward. Perhaps going for that nose once more. And right to Vane. Oh, if we ever needed one from Vane, we do not see him alone in front of the net very often, if ever. If we ever needed one from Vane, it was right there. Tidy Whiteys. And over that top left shoulder. High glove side has been deadly for these goaltenders tonight. Absolutely deadly. The weak spot has been the high glove shoulder of these goaltenders. And the lead is stretched back to 6. Narwhals have now let double digits goals into the back of the net. The lead is back to 6. Under 10 minutes now. Time ticking down for these Narwhals. Still plenty of time to go. They've got to get some urgency going here. Just having a tough time getting back to the other side of the net is Andelson, as he left it open for quite a bit of time. And perhaps the green man starting to turn it on now, as he is wheeling and dealing. The Tidy Whiteys behind the Narwhal net. Here is the Blue Ranger once more. Oh, perhaps a miscommunication. They're going to give it right back to these Tidy Whiteys. Vane on the forecheck now. And just cannot get back around. And just very clean is the green man for the Tidy Whiteys. And just wheeling and dealing through this Narwhal defense. The score now, 11-4. Not in favor of the Narwhals, but in favor of these Tidy Whiteys. A 7-goal advantage. And once more, the Narwhals just playing for pride. Right in front of the net now, the Tidy Whiteys. Up comes the BBC. And he will lose it once more, as turning it on is the green man for the Tidy Whiteys. Perhaps they were saving them for this moment. A 2-on-1 advantage here for the Tidy Whiteys. Oh, and just dropped in the bucket. And that will do it with 8:09 remaining. The Narwhals will fall to these Tidy Whiteys. The final score being 12-4.
That was a performance.
And again, it felt like the Narwhals were in this game. It felt like they were being dragged up by a few men, but just could not make enough full tonight. And the lack of continuity after the loss in these last 3 games of the other 2 Power Rangers, this Narwhal team just has a very different feel to it. Continuity is not there. The play is not pretty. It is choppy at best. And I don't say this a lot for these Narwhals, as we've seen them fight so hard over and over again in face of a loss, but this team looked demoralized tonight. This did not look like the team that I know. I feel as though A lot of guys gave up. Felt as though with 11 minutes left in that game, we really had a chance to pull back in there if we could get together and work on this thing, but just felt like the intensity was not there tonight for the Narwhals. And so on that sad note, I, of course, the official voice of the Narwhals, James Ward, signing off.